True Fit MN, this is Jeremy. I have one more movement today for you, all right? This one is going to use a wall, and that's about it, all right? It just requires a little bit of setup position, and we'll walk through that right now. The biggest thing here is I want to set up the glutes for both sides of the hip to get a little bit of a grounding force or producing force into a surface, okay? And I find that getting them both in a different position allows me to really get them both firing at the same time and alleviate a lot of pressure around the hips and through the lower back, okay? If we get the glutes to activate, and all of a sudden a lot of these mysterious pains and things that have shown up relatively recently or for a long time, they start to really alleviate, okay? So it turns out the glutes are kind of the masters of unlocking a lot of the tension and pain we feel. Okay, so the setup is this. I want to be near a wall, but I got some space here between me, all right? So maybe a foot, maybe like 16 inches. What I want to do is I want to put a heel about knee height, and I want to just brace it right there. Again, knee height, flat heeled, all right? And if I want to be far enough away again that I feel like this leg is able to support me and stabilize me, all right? And I don't want to be too far, all right? So if you kind of look like your knees are in line with each other, that's a good starting point. Now, from here, what I want to do is let that front knee flex a little bit forward just softly, okay? And then I want to start to hinge at the hips, and I want to have the hips square with each other, right? So I don't want my toe on the wall to be facing out, and then my toe here facing in or something. Not yet, okay? So we're gonna just start to get a little bit of hinge, and what I want you to do is feel like you're pushing through both heels, and we're gonna make sure this knee doesn't lock out, so I want it to let it travel right over about the middle of the foot, all right? And now the final little tweak here is this leg that's supported on the wall, I want you to feel like you're turning your hip down and maybe your knee in a little bit, all right? And what that's gonna do, it's gonna put me in internal rotation on the support leg. You're gonna feel that glute kick on, right? And then we're gonna just have the hands reach just kind of on the outside of this foot, right underneath the shoulders. And I wanna make sure I'm maintaining a nice neutral back here, okay? So the back is in a good straight position. I got a little bit of that hinge in the hip. I'm rotated over that foot just a bit, right? And I'm gonna work on pushing both heels into the floor, both heels into the surface, I should say, okay? And I want to hold here for about 30 seconds at first, all right? And that's where we're gonna make sure that we have good contact through the heel in this stance leg, because that glute is gonna be burning big time, okay? And it's gonna get a lot of activation. So start with about 30 seconds, work your way to 60 seconds with some experience, all right? Another feature that you can elevate this with, okay, is if you have a foam roller, you could go into that same pattern and then just add in this squeeze with the arms right here, right? So I got the leg here, right? I'm hinged, I got that rotation in, and then I'm squeezing against those palms with the shoulders reaching forward, all right? And you're gonna find that when we get the serratus to drive and compress, right, it gets me to really even lock down even more into the glute, and we get even more out of that feature, okay? And lastly, if you wanna add another element for controlling the back posture and how we maintain stability of hips to shoulders. All right, I'll go into it, and after a little hold here, I'll go ahead and I'll reach out and still feel that grounding. I'm just extending the lats and still trying to provide compression right here. All right, and you're gonna start to feel the integration of the lats and the external rotators of the shoulder as we go into maintaining connection with the hips through the surfaces that we were putting into. So it looks a little weird, it takes a little feeling out, but I think once you get in position, you feel both those glutes light up, you'll really appreciate kind of turning them on like that in a way that it's hard to do with other patterns.